Marhaba, my friends. Welcome back to the journey. Today, we're going to showcasing one of our most interesting investment, Transsion Holdings, one of the largest smartphone companies around the globe. Actually, from Q1 2024, this company just overtook Oppo and secured the number 4 worldwide. I mean, for now, it's the 4th largest smartphone company. We made this investment back in 17 or something. It was only a pure Africa play back then. But guess what? For now, it already successfully expanded into areas like Southeast Asia, South Asia like Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even Latin America. And hence, it is truly an investment we are very proud of. So, let's kick it off, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're looking into Transsion Holdings.
Transsion Holdings?
Yeah, a company one of our listeners was curious about.
Ah, interesting.
And let me tell you, I was pretty surprised by some of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Transsion is a big deal in the smartphone world, but you probably haven't heard of them.
I haven't, no.
Unless you've, spent some time in Africa.
Right, yeah.
That's their domain.
That's right. Transsion, they've kind of built this empire under the radar.
Wow, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, and, they've dominated the African mobile phone market.
Really?
Yeah, with a consistent market share, like around 50%.
50%, that's huge.
It is, leaving some big names in the dust.
So how'd they manage to capture such a big chunk of the market?
Well, it's all about really understanding your customer base.
Yep.
Their success boils down to what they call a global strategy.
Local.
Yeah, so global vision, but hyper-focused local execution. So they haven't just, taken a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
They've really gone deep.
Yeah.
To understand the unique needs and preferences of the African market.
Makes sense.
And then they tailored their products accordingly.
So they're not just changing the label, slapping on a new name, and shipping it off?
No, not at all.
Interesting.
We're talking about recognizing the realities of daily life.
Gotcha.
For their customers. So take their cameras, for example.
Okay.
They're designed to capture multi-tone skin colors.
Huh.
With much greater accuracy.
Okay.
Than some of their competitors.
Oh, so they've thought about that. Interesting.
Yeah, it might seem like a minor detail.
Yeah.
But it makes a huge difference in the quality of photos.
Of course, yeah, of course.
And that resonates with consumers.
Absolutely, yeah. Everyone wants their photos to look good, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, cameras, that's one thing, but what are some other ways that they've adapted?
Well, think about infrastructure challenges, right? In many parts of Africa, reliable electricity isn't a given.
Right.
So Transsion addresses that head on.
Okay.
With phones that boast incredibly long battery life.
That's smart, yeah.
Yeah.
Dead phone, not helpful.
Not at all.
All right, so long battery life, what else?
And they've even designed sweat-resistant charging ports.
Oh, wow.
A seemingly small detail.
Right.
But makes a big difference.
Yeah.
In hot and humid climates.
That's true.
Yeah. These are phones built
for
the environment they're being used in.
It's like they've thought of everything.
They put a lot of thought into it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand why they're so successful.
Yeah. And we're just scratching the surface.
Oh, okay.
They've also carefully crafted their brand portfolio, to cater to different segments of the market.
Gotcha.
So they've got TECNO.
TECNO?
Yeah, their high-end brand.
Okay.
For those who want the latest tech.
So if you want cutting edge, if you're willing to spend a little bit more.
Exactly.
TECNO.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then there's Infinix.
Okay.
Their brand is all about appealing to a younger crowd.
The younger, digitally savvy.
Digitally savvy, yeah.
I can see the appeal there.
Yeah.
All right.
And finally, they have itel.
itel.
Which focuses on affordability.
Gotcha.
And reliability.
Okay, so making it accessible.
Exactly.
To a wider audience.
To a wider audience, yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, offering both, basic smartphones and even feature phones.
Oh, wow.
At price points that are hard to beat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, so they're really covering all their bases.
They're covering all their bases, making sure there's a Transsion phone.
For everybody.
For everybody.
That's brilliant. But it sounds like their ambitions extend far beyond Africa.
You're right. Transsion, they're not content with just ruling one continent.
Right.
They're setting their sights on new territories.
Okay.
Expanding into emerging markets like South Asia.
Okay.
Southeast Asia, the Middle East,
Oh, wow.
and even Latin America.
That's a bold move.
It is.
What makes them think they can replicate their African success?
Well, there's a few factors at play here.
Right.
First, these markets, they're still in a growth phase when it comes to smartphone adoption.
So there's room to grow.
There's massive potential,
Okay.
right? Unlike the more saturated global market.
Right. Where everybody already has a smartphone.
Exactly. And that represents a huge opportunity
Right.
for a company like Transsion
That makes sense.
that knows how to win over first-time smartphone buyers.
I see.
Right.
So they're jumping into these markets.
Yeah, markets with massive potential.
Massive potential for growth.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And they're doing it at a time
Yeah.
when the global economic landscape
Okay.
is shifting in their favor.
How so?
So with the recent U.S. Federal Reserve interest rate cut,
Oh, okay.
the dollar is weakening.
Right.
That means increased purchasing power
Yeah.
in many of these emerging economies.
So it sounds like they've got impeccable timing.
Let's just say they have a knack
Okay.
for reading global economic trends
Right.
and identifying those windows of opportunity.
So they're expanding beyond Africa, but it's more than just selling more phones, right?
Just more nuance than that.
Okay.
Their growth strategy goes beyond simply pushing phones.
Gotcha.
They're creating a whole ecosystem
Oh, interesting.
around their devices.
Okay.
They're not just a phone company. They're becoming a tech powerhouse.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more about this ecosystem.
All right, so think of it as a phone plus strategy. Yeah, so they're branching out into new product categories.
Okay.
And diving headfirst into mobile internet services.
All right, so give me some examples. What kind of products are we talking about?
All right, so they've got a thriving accessories business
Okay.
with their Oramo brand,
Oramo. All right.
actually leading the true wireless stereo earbuds market.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know what TWS stood for until I read this report.
There you go.
But it sounds like they're doing well in that space.
They are.
Okay, so accessories, earbuds, what else?
And they're also making a play in the home appliances market with their Sinix brand,
Sinix.
offering everything from TVs and refrigerators
Okay.
to air conditioners.
So they're really trying to become that go-to brand for all things tech
That's the idea.
in these markets.
Yeah, and they're not just, again, taking a generic approach.
Right.
Still focused on understanding the specific needs of their customers. They've even developed a product specifically designed to make fufu.
Fufu. What's fufu?
So it's a staple food
Okay.
in many African countries,
Okay.
often made from cassava or plantains.
Okay.
It can be quite labor intensive to prepare traditionally.
Yeah.
So Transsion created a device
Wow.
that simplifies the process.
So, I mean, talk about understanding your market.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that global approach
Yeah.
in action.
They're not just selling products, they're selling solutions.
Exactly. And that's just one example.
Right.
They're also making waves in the mobile internet services arena.
All right. This is what I really want to hear about. Tell me everything.
Okay, so they're tackling it from two angles.
Okay.
First, there are the built-in services on their phones, like app stores, advertising platforms,
Okay.
data services.
So they're in control of that user experience.
Right. They're not relying on somebody else's platform.
Right.
They're building their own.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then they have standalone apps
Okay.
that are gaining serious traction,
Okay.
like their music streaming service, Boomplay.
So like a Spotify, but for Africa?
You could say that.
Okay.
Boomplay is already incredibly popular
Wow.
in Africa. And it's just one example of how they're creating this whole digital ecosystem
Yeah.
that caters to the specific needs and preferences
Right.
of their users.
I'm seeing a pattern here. They're not just copying what's worked elsewhere.
Exactly.
They're adapting. They're innovating.
They're innovating.
Yeah.
And that's why the future looks incredibly bright for Transsion.
I can definitely see why analysts are optimistic about them.
Yeah.
But what are the specific factors, though, driving that positive outlook?
Well, certainly smartphone penetration is still on the rise.
So they're tapping into a market?
A market that's
Still expanding?
it's still expanding rapidly.
Right. Okay.
But there's more to it than that.
Okay.
As these economies develop.
Yeah.
There is a corresponding increase in demand for consumer goods,
Right.
including, things like accessories and appliances.
So that plays right into their Phone Plus strategy.
Right into their Phone Plus strategy.
Okay, they're positioned to really capitalize
Yeah.
on that rising tide
Yeah.
of consumer spending.
And perhaps even more importantly.
Okay.
They're tapping into a market where the potential for mobile internet services is still largely untapped.
Right. I can see that. I mean, they've got the user base. They understand the market.
They understand the market. They're building the infrastructure.
Yeah, they've got a huge advantage.
You've got a significant first mover advantage.
In this space.
In this space.
Wow.
And they're not resting on their laurels.
Okay.
They're actively investing
in
cutting-edge technologies like foldable phones.
Oh, wow.
AI-powered features.
So they're staying ahead of the curve.
Showing their commitment.
Yeah.
Staying ahead of the innovation curve.
I'm impressed. I really didn't know much about Transsion going into this.
Yeah.
But they clearly have, like, a winning formula.
They do.
It's not just about selling phones.
No.
It's about building this whole ecosystem.
It's about the ecosystem.
Understanding your customers.
Understanding your customer. Absolutely.
Adapting to local needs.
It's a powerful combination.
Yeah, it is. And it's led to some impressive results.
It has.
I can't wait to dig into the specifics of their financials, though.
Let's do it.
And learn a little bit more about the challenges that they face.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've established they're killing it.
Yeah.
In the market share department.
Absolutely.
But what about their financials?
Yeah.
Are they actually making money?
They are.
With all this innovation and expansion?
They are. Their financials are actually remarkably solid.
Oh.
Yeah. The report highlights their impressive revenue growth over the past few years, boasting a compound annual growth rate exceeding 27%.
Wow, 27%.
Yeah. But even more striking is their net profit,
which
has been growing at a rate of almost 90% annually.
90%.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Over the same period.
I'm guessing most of that is still coming from phone sales?
You're right.
Right.
Their phone business is still the primary revenue driver.
Okay.
Accounting for over 90% of their revenue. In the first half of this year.
But are the newer ventures?
Yeah.
Like the accessories?
That's right.
The appliances?
Starting to contribute.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Just fit the bottom line.
You're right. Their Phone Plus strategy is starting to gain some real momentum. Revenues from their accessories and home appliances. Are on a steep upward trajectory.
So it seems like that diversification strategy is paying off.
It is.
It's not just talk.
It's not just talk. They're seeing results.
What about their foray into mobile internet services?
Yeah.
How is that side of the business performing?
That's where things get really interesting.
While
they have a massive user base, their current average revenue per user is still relatively low.
Compared to
like a company like Xiaomi.
Which
has a strong mobile internet presence in markets like India.
That makes, Xiaomi has had more time to develop that.
They've had a head start.
Yeah.
But couldn't Transsion potentially see a significant jump in their ARPU?
If they leverage that deep understanding of the African market.
That's precisely why this report is so bullish on their future. They are projecting continued strong revenue growth. With the potential for even greater acceleration.
As their mobile internet services gain traction.
As those services gain traction.
It sounds like they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. Every company faces challenges, right?
Of course.
What are some of the potential roadblocks or headwinds?
Competition is always a factor.
Of course.
Right.
While they currently hold a commanding lead.
They do.
There are other players.
Vying for a piece of the pie.
Sure, we talked about Samsung and Apple earlier.
Right.
But they seem to be lagging pretty far behind.
Yeah, they're
in these markets.
The report doesn't seem too concerned. About the traditional global players. It suggests that Transsion's intimate understanding of the local market gives them a significant edge.
But is there always the risk of new local competitors emerging?
Yeah, companies that could potentially challenge Transsion on their home turf.
Makes sense. If you're going to compete in a market, who better to understand the nuances of what those customers want than a local company?
But beyond competition, there are inherent challenges that come with operating in emerging markets. Things like economic volatility, political instability, currency fluctuations. These are all factors that could significantly impact Transsion's business.
And of course, there's the execution risk that comes with such ambitious expansion plans.
Absolutely.
Managing rapid growth across multiple product categories and diverse geographic regions.
There's no easy feat.
No.
It takes a deft hand to navigate that.
You're right.
It requires a careful balancing act.
Right.
They need to stay focused on their core markets while simultaneously investing in these new opportunities.
It's a challenge for any company.
It is.
Especially one that's growing as quickly as Transsion.
Especially one growing that quickly.
And we can't forget about the ever-evolving landscape
of course
of technology staying ahead of the curve.
Absolutely crucial.
When it comes to innovation.
Especially in the fast-paced world of mobile technology.
Yeah, what happens if someone else develops a groundbreaking technology that just leapfrogs Transsion's current offerings?
You've hit on a crucial point.
Yeah.
They can't afford to rest on their laurels.
Right.
The report does highlight their investments.
Okay.
In areas like 5G.
Okay.
And artificial intelligence.
Okay, so they're aware.
Which indicates that they are acutely aware of the need to remain at the forefront
of technological
advancement.
But that investment has to continue.
It does.
And it has to be smart.
It has to be smart.
It seems like they're approaching their expansion with a healthy mix of confidence and caution.
I think so.
They're not just rushing in blindly. They're placing strategic bets.
They are.
And building their capabilities.
For the long haul.
For the long haul. Yeah, that's a good observation.
They're playing a long game.
Yeah.
And so far, it seems to be working.
But it requires constant vigilance and adaptation.
Constant vigilance.
You know, one thing that has struck me throughout this discussion is Transion's genuine commitment to understanding their customers' needs. It's not about slapping their logo on a generic product and hoping it sells.
It's about really digging deep.
Yeah.
Figuring out what makes their customers tick.
And then delivering solutions.
And delivering those solutions.
And genuinely address those needs.
That's a key differentiator for them.
Yeah.
In a world saturated with choices, true differentiation comes from that deep understanding of your target market.
Yeah.
And the ability to offer something that your competitors simply cannot.
It reminds me of that old saying, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it.
Exactly.
And Transsion's why seems to be all about empowering consumers in emerging markets.
It's a powerful message.
With access to technology that improves their lives.
And it's clearly resonating
in concrete ways
with their customers.
Their focus on mobile internet services is particularly fascinating to me. It makes me think about the domino effect we've seen in other markets.
Once you connect people, it unlocks a world of possibilities.
Suddenly, access to information, communication, entertainment, education becomes much more readily available.
It could be transformative.
Yeah.
For individuals.
For communities.
For communities, even for entire economies.
And Transsion is playing a vital role in driving that transformation.
They are.
In Africa and beyond.
And that's what makes their story so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about achieving financial success.
Right.
It's about making a tangible difference.
In
the world.
It's about seeing a need.
Seeing a need.
And filling it.
In
a way that benefits everyone.
It's
a reminder that business can be a powerful force for good.
It can.
And that innovation can blossom.
Absolutely.
In the most unexpected places.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Translina is a testament to the fact that groundbreaking ideas and truly impactful businesses can emerge from anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
They're challenging our assumptions about where innovation comes from.
And what it looks like.
I'm curious to learn more about their specific approach to innovation.
Yeah.
How do they go about identifying those unmet needs?
Well, the report gives us some insight into that process. It highlights their strong emphasis on research and development. Their willingness to invest in cutting-edge technologies. And their commitment to building a team that understands the diverse markets
that they serve.
So
they're not afraid to push the boundaries.
Not at all.
And explore new frontiers.
They're actively exploring areas like artificial intelligence. Foldable screens. Even things like rollable displays.
Wait, rollable displays?
Rollable displays.
That sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's an indication that they're thinking big.
That
they're not content with just making incremental improvements.
Yeah.
They want to be at the forefront.
Of the technological revolution. It sounds like they're not satisfied with simply following the trends.
No.
They want to be the one setting them. And that sets them apart.
It does.
Of Mamphingals.
Operating in these emerging markets.
Yeah.
They're not content to just adapt existing technologies.
Right.
They're driven to create their own.
They want to own the future.
They want to own the future.
That kind of ambition is contagious.
It is.
It makes you wonder what other innovations they're cooking up in their labs.
What other surprises?
What other surprises do they have in store for us?
Well, it's the beauty of a company like Transsion.
Yeah.
They've consistently shown us
that
they're full of surprises.
Right.
They've already defied expectations.
They have.
So who knows what they'll achieve next?
I have a feeling this is just the beginning of their story.
I think you're right.
Well, before we get ahead of ourselves,
right,
let's go back to the financials for a minute.
Nope.
We're about to dig into some of the specifics.
The specifics.
The report mentioned a metric called operating margin.
Operating margin.
Can you explain what that is?
Sure.
And how it applies to Transsion?
Operating margin is essentially a measure of profitability.
Okay.
It tells us how much profit a company makes for every dollar of revenue after accounting for its operating expenses.
So it's a way to see how efficiently?
In simpler terms.
Yeah.
It's a way to see how efficiently a company is running its core business operations.
So what does Transsion's operating margin tell us?
Well, that's where things get a little more complex.
Okay.
While their revenue growth has been spectacular,
right,
as we discussed earlier,
90%.
Their operating margin is actually under some pressure.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. What's causing that pressure?
There are a few factors at play. One of the primary challenges is the rising cost of components used in their devices.
So
think about things like semiconductors, displays, and batteries.
Oh, okay.
The prices of these essential components have been increasing.
Oh, I see.
Which cuts into their profit margins.
So even though they're selling more phones and generating more revenue, the cost of making those phones?
The cost is going up.
It's also going up.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that puts a squeeze on their profitability.
That's a significant challenge.
It is.
How are they addressing this issue?
Well, they're tackling it from a few angles.
Okay.
First, they're trying to negotiate better prices with their suppliers.
Okay.
They're leveraging their size.
Makes sense.
And they're increasing purchasing power.
The more you buy,
right,
the more leverage you have.
Exactly.
What else are they doing?
They're also looking for ways to optimize their manufacturing and supply chain processes.
To become more efficient.
To become more efficient.
Okay.
This could involve streamlining their operations.
Okay.
Finding ways to reduce waste.
So they're trying to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're also exploring ways
to
potentially pass some of those increased costs on to their customers.
Right.
Through strategic price increases.
That's a delicate balancing act, though.
It is.
Isn't it?
You have to be careful not to alienate your price-sensitive customer base.
Right, right.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
It's a tricky maneuver.
Yeah.
But it's something they have to consider.
Right.
If they want to protect their profitability.
It sounds like they're facing some real challenges.
They are.
But they're also taking proactive steps.
They are. And that's one of the things that makes Transsion such an interesting company to watch.
Okay.
They're not shying away from these difficulties.
Right.
They're tackling them head on.
With a combination of
strategic thinking, innovation.
And that deep understanding of their market.
And a deep understanding of their market.
It seems like they're not just reacting to challenges.
No.
They're using them as opportunities to learn, adapt, and become even stronger.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay.
And it'll be fascinating to see how they navigate these challenges in the coming years.
Right.
Their success hinges on their ability to maintain their agility.
Okay.
Their customer-centric approach.
Yeah.
And their relentless pursuit of innovation.
Oh, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
We have.
Transsion's story is a complex tapestry.
It is.
Of innovation, ambition, and resilience.
It is, and it's a story that has the potential to reshape the global technology landscape.
Before we wrap up this deep dive,
there's
one more aspect of Transsion's business I want to explore.
Right.
Their ecosystem strategy.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that they're building something akin to Apple's or Google's ecosystems, but tailored for emerging markets.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely.
What makes their approach unique?
Transsion's ecosystem strategy is a fascinating blend of adaptation and innovation.
Okay.
It's not simply about replicating what's worked in other parts of the world.
Right.
It's about understanding the nuances
of these specific markets.
And
crafting an ecosystem. That caters to those unique characteristics. So they're not just taking a cookie cutter approach.
Not at all.
And hoping for the best.
They're being incredibly deliberate.
Okay.
In how they're building their ecosystem.
Okay.
For instance, they're placing a strong emphasis on affordability.
Okay.
Ensuring that their devices and services are accessible.
Right.
To a much wider range of consumers.
That makes sense.
They're also designing their mobile internet services.
Okay.
To function seamlessly, even on lower bandwidth networks.
Oh, okay.
Recognizing that reliable high-speed internet isn't universally available in these regions.
So they're not just assuming everyone has the latest and greatest technology.
Yeah. They're reading their customers where they are.
They're not just selling products.
Right.
They're providing solutions.
That are
thoughtfully integrated. Into their customers' lives. That's a powerful concept.
It is.
It's like they're creating a whole new digital landscape. In these regions. One that's built from the ground up. To meet the unique needs of their users. And that gives them a distinct competitive advantage. They're not just following trends.
No, they're shaping them.
I'm curious about their long-term vision. Where do they see themselves in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah.
Do they have aspirations to become a truly global player?
That's an intriguing question.
Competing head-to-head with the likes of Apple and Samsung on a worldwide stage.
Well, the report doesn't explicitly address their long-term aspirations, their current trajectory, and ambitious expansion plans.
It's not far-fetched, is it?
It suggests that challenging those established players.
I mean, they've already proven they can compete and win against considerable odds.
In more developed markets might be on the horizon.
Why couldn't they replicate that success in other parts in the world?
The key to achieving that global dominance might lie in their ability to retain their agility and their customer-centric approach as they scale.
They've built their success on understanding and responding to the unique needs of their target markets.
Exactly.
So as long as they stay true to that core principle, they have the potential to achieve whatever they set their minds to.
They do.
It's a compelling story.
It is.
And one that has implications far beyond the world of smartphones.
Absolutely. Transion's journey is a testament to the power of adaptation, innovation,
and a deep understanding of your customer.
It's
a story that has the potential to change the way we think about emerging markets and the role they play in shaping the future of technology.
I agree.
Well, I have to say I'm completely captivated by Transion's story.
It's a fascinating company.
What started as a simple request to understand this company has turned into a fascinating exploration of innovation, strategy,
and global impact.
It's
been a journey of discovery for me as well.
It has.
Transsion is a company that challenges our assumptions.
It expands our understanding of what's possible.
And ultimately inspires us to think differently about the world.
And to our listener, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive.
We hope so.
Into the world of Transsion Holdings.
It's a fascinating story.
We encourage you to continue exploring their story.
Absolutely.
And see what other fascinating insights you can uncover.
There are many.
This is a company that's rewriting the rules of the game.
They are.
And they're just getting started.
Until
next time. It's really striking me, as we wrap up, it's not just about the products or even the financials with Transsion, right? It's their vision.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
They're playing the long game here.
They're building for the future.
They're not just trying to win the smartphone race today.
Right.
They're laying the groundwork for a whole new technological landscape.
And they're doing it in a way that's incredibly strategic.
It's not just throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks.
They're carefully crafting this ecosystem that's designed to meet the specific needs of their target markets.
It's like they're building a digital bridge between the developing world and the future.
They're not just providing access to technology.
They're empowering people to create their own futures.
And that's That's a powerful concept.
It really is.
It's about more than just profits. It's about making a real difference in the world.
This whole deep dive has been really eye-opening.
Yeah.
For me, I had no idea how much innovation was happening in these so-called emerging markets.
It's a reminder that innovation isn't confined to Silicon Valley or Shenzhen.
It's happening all over the world.
It's happening all over.
Yeah, driven by necessity and ingenuity.
Absolutely.
And a desire to make things better.
Transsion is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, they're proving that you don't need a fancy headquarters or billions in funding to make a global impact.
You just need a great idea.
Right.
A deep understanding of your customer.
Yeah.
And the tenacity to make it happen.
Their story is truly an inspiration.
It is.
It shows what's possible when you combine that global vision with a local focus.
Yeah, and when you're not afraid.
And you're not afraid to challenge the status quo.
To challenge the status quo.
That really makes me wonder, what other Transians are out there?
Right.
What other groundbreaking companies are quietly changing the world from these unexpected corners of the globe?
That's the beauty of exploration.
It really is.
There's always something new to discover.
There is.
And Transsion's story is a good reminder to keep our eyes open.
To look beyond the familiar.
To look beyond the familiar.
And embrace the unexpected.
Well said.
That's a perfect note to end on.
It is.
To our listener, we hope this deep dive
we hope you enjoyed it.
Has sparked your curiosity.
Absolutely.
And inspired you to explore the world with fresh eyes.
That's what it's all about.
Who knows what you might discover?
The possibilities are endless.
They are endless.
Keep learning.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
That's where the real treasures lie.
That's where they are.
Until next time.